Welcome, gentlemen. Imagine a time 7 million years ago when our ancestors shared the planet with creatures like the Australopithecus. They didn't speak as we do, yet they communicated. This video takes us on a journey through the silent beginnings of human language, exploring how our ancestors' need to connect and survive laid the foundation for the complex languages we use today. Our story begins millions of years ago, with the last common ancestor shared by humans, chimpanzees, and bonobos. These early beings did not have the language we know today, but communicated through more basic, yet powerful, means. Their communication was centered around grunts, cries, and gestures, emotional expressions that signaled fear, joy, or warnings. While these weren't words as we understand them, they were forms of connection. Imagine the dense forests where these creatures roamed, where every sound held significance. A grunt could signal alarm, a cry might call for help, and a gesture could ask for comfort. These simple expressions, though not language, were vital for survival in their unpredictable environment. They allowed early humans and their relatives to remain connected and aware, playing a key role in their survival. These primal expressions, though rudimentary, set the foundation for the language that would evolve. Over time, these basic sounds would grow in complexity, becoming more refined and nuanced, eventually developing into the sophisticated forms of communication we use today. What began as a basic need to survive, communicate, and connect would ultimately lead to the rich, intricate languages that define human beings. As millions of years passed, our ancestors' anatomy began to change, paving the way for complex speech. One of the most significant changes was in the larynx, or voice box, which shifted position in the throat. This change allowed for a greater range of vocal sounds. The ability to produce different pitches and tones marked a crucial step towards developing language. But the evolution didn't stop there. The diaphragm, the muscle responsible for breathing, also evolved. This change allowed for more controlled and regulated breathing, which became essential for creating varied and sustained vocalizations. Our ancestors gained the ability to modulate their breath, enabling longer, more complex sounds key to the development of speech. The tongue also underwent significant changes. It became more flexible, allowing for the formation of a greater variety of sounds. The control over tongue movements gave early humans the ability to articulate words, a crucial step in communication. These anatomical changes didn't immediately create language, but they provided the physical foundation for it. By gaining control over breath, pitch, and articulation, early humans could produce more complex sounds, setting the stage for the evolution of speech. Around 70,000 years ago, Homo sapiens underwent a cognitive revolution. This wasn't just about improving tools or controlling fire. It was about thinking in new, transformative ways. Our ancestors began to move beyond simple survival instincts and engage in abstract thinking. For the first time, they could imagine future events, plan for them, and think beyond immediate needs. They began to understand concepts not just in the present moment, but in a broader, more symbolic sense. This cognitive leap enabled early humans to create and understand symbols, a vital building block of language. Unlike other animals, they could represent ideas, objects, and emotions without direct interaction. This allowed them to communicate in more complex ways. Instead of simply reacting to the environment, they could communicate plans, ideas, and feelings that weren't immediately present or tangible. This ability to think and communicate abstractly was crucial for the growth of complex social interactions. Homo sapiens could now cooperate in larger groups, create shared goals, and build stronger social bonds. The development of symbols and abstract thought set the stage for the sophisticated language systems that followed, forever changing human communication and society. Over 100,000 years ago, early humans began to engage in symbolic thinking, marking a crucial step in our evolution. Evidence of this can be seen in ochre carvings and beads found in archaeological sites, which show that our ancestors could represent ideas beyond the physical world. These objects weren't just decorative. They held deep meaning, symbolizing identity, status, or concepts far beyond immediate needs. The use of symbols allowed humans to communicate ideas abstractly, breaking the limitations of simple, direct communication.
These objects
They could now
become
discuss
more
not
than
just what was
decoration.
physically present, but also things in the future, distant places, or even abstract concepts like emotions or spiritual beliefs. This shift was vital for the development of language. Instead of relying on basic vocalizations, humans began to form shared meanings that could be communicated through symbols. This ability to use symbols also fostered the growth of culture and identity. Symbols became a way to share experiences, values, and beliefs, helping early humans connect on a deeper level. They weren't just surviving, they were building a shared understanding of their world, laying the foundation for language and complex social structures. This symbolic thinking was a key turning point, making language and communication about more than just survival. It was about shared meaning and identity. The FOXP2 gene, often called the language gene, plays a critical role in the development of speech and language. It affects the motor skills required for speech production, influencing how we control the muscles involved in talking. While it is not the sole factor in language development, its presence in both Neanderthals and early Homo sapiens indicates that our ancestors had the biological foundation for language. This suggests they had the anatomical potential for speech long before full language emerged. However, having the FOXP2 gene wasn't enough to create complex language. It provided the physical ability to produce the sounds necessary for speech. But language also requires cognitive development, social interaction, and cultural evolution. The genetic potential was there, but the actualization of language required more than just vocal capability. It needed cognitive changes that allowed abstract thought, symbolic communication, and complex social structures. In modern humans, mutations in FOXP2 can result in speech and language disorders, highlighting its importance in language development. While FOXP2 was a crucial piece of the puzzle, it was one part of a broader evolutionary process that eventually led to the sophisticated languages we use today. The gene set the stage for language, but it was the combined evolution of the brain, social structures, and cognitive abilities that made language fully realized. Neanderthals, our close evolutionary relatives, had a hyoid bone similar to that of modern humans, suggesting they were capable of producing a wide range of sounds. This bone is essential for vocalization, as it supports the muscles involved in speech production. While this anatomical feature indicates that Neanderthals could create complex sounds, the question remains, did they possess full-fledged language? While Neanderthals likely used simple vocalizations and gestures to communicate, it is unclear whether they had the cognitive abilities for complex language. They may have relied on basic sounds to express emotions, warn of danger, or communicate needs. Their gestures could have complemented vocalizations, forming a rudimentary but effective form of communication. The real question is whether Neanderthals had grammar or the ability to convey abstract concepts. Although their vocal abilities were advanced, it is uncertain if they could organize sounds into meaningful sentences or use language to express ideas beyond the immediate present. Some scientists believe their vocalizations may have been the foundation for more sophisticated communication, while others argue that their communication system remained simple. While their exact linguistic abilities remain debated, it is clear that Neanderthals had the biological tools to communicate in ways that were more advanced than other animals. As Homo sapiens left Africa and spread across the globe, they carried their languages with them. These early humans didn't just migrate physically, they also brought with them the foundational forms of communication that would evolve into the complex languages we recognize today. As groups settled in different regions, the languages began to adapt and change, influenced by local geography, climate, and the needs of the people. Geography played a key role in how languages evolved.
We must cross!
When groups became isolated in distant lands, their languages began to diverge, giving rise to different dialects and, over time, entirely distinct languages. This process was further shaped by culture. The ways people lived, their traditions, and their values all influenced the structure and vocabulary of their language. Language spread not only through migration but also through trade and conquest. As humans traveled, whether to trade goods or explore new territories, they encountered other groups and their languages. This exchange led to the blending of languages and the creation of new linguistic forms, as people adopted words and phrases from each other. In regions where one group conquered another, the dominant language often spread, while still absorbing elements of the local dialects. Through these migrations, interactions, and exchanges, languages began to spread and diversify, eventually forming the rich tapestry of languages that exist today. Each language tells the story of its people, their history, and their connections to the wider world. Around 40,000 years ago, humans began to use language in more complex ways. The development of grammar marked a pivotal moment in the evolution of language. Before this, early humans could communicate using simple words and sounds, but the creation of grammar allowed for more detailed and structured sentences. This new system enabled people to express abstract ideas and emotions rather than just immediate needs. With grammar, language became capable of describing more than the present. Humans could talk about the past, the future, and even concepts like time, space, and relationships. This allowed for more sophisticated storytelling, planning, and the sharing of knowledge. The ability to organize thoughts into clear, coherent sentences was essential for teaching and learning, passing down wisdom, and coordinating group efforts. Grammar also allowed for the expression of nuanced thoughts. Early humans could convey not only what was happening, but also how and why, making communication far richer. This ability to articulate complex ideas helped shape early human societies, allowing for deeper connections and the building of cultures. The emergence of grammar was a major milestone that enabled complex communication, marking the beginning of modern human language as we know it. Language, despite its immense power, is fragile. It can be easily lost through cultural shifts, conquests, or the extinction of its speakers. Throughout history, many languages have disappeared, often without a trace, due to the changing tides of society. Whether through colonization, assimilation, or the displacement of communities, entire languages can vanish, taking with them unique ways of thinking, cultural knowledge, and history. When a language dies, it's not just a matter of losing words. It's the loss of a worldview, a distinct way of interpreting the world around us. Every language holds cultural significance, encoding the stories, values, and wisdom of a people. These languages carry centuries of understanding, offering insights into the environment, social structures, and traditions of their speakers. Losing a language means losing a part of humanity's collective knowledge. This fragility highlights the critical importance of preserving linguistic diversity. Every language is a window into a culture, and its disappearance can erase centuries of knowledge and history. As we lose languages, we lose the connection to past generations. The preservation of languages is not just about saving words. It's about safeguarding the identities and wisdom embedded within them for future generations. Language continues to evolve in the modern world, especially with the advent of digital communication. The rise of emojis, memes, and GIFs has introduced new ways of expressing thoughts and emotions. While these forms of communication aren't traditional languages, they have become integral parts of how we interact online. Emojis, for example, allow us to convey emotions quickly and efficiently, often replacing words with visual symbols that express feelings, reactions, and even complex ideas. This shift to visual and symbolic communication is reminiscent of how our ancestors likely communicated before language fully developed. Just as early humans used gestures, facial expressions, and symbolic objects to share meaning, modern digital communication relies on images and symbols to convey emotions, humor, and concepts in a more immediate and universal way. In a sense, These symbols are a return to the visual language humans once used. Digital communication today reflects a growing flexibility in how we express ourselves. We're no longer bound strictly by words. Images, videos, and memes are now as much a part of conversation as spoken language. This modern adaptation highlights how language remains a dynamic, ever-changing tool, constantly evolving to meet the needs of those who use it. Looking ahead, language will continue to evolve, influenced by factors such as globalization, technology, and cultural exchange. As the world becomes more interconnected, languages are exposed to one another more than ever before. This results in the creation of new languages, as well as changes to existing ones. People from different cultures now communicate across vast distances, blending linguistic features and adopting new terms and expressions. Technology has already played a significant role in how we communicate. The rise of social media, texting, and online platforms has given birth to new ways of expressing ideas, such as acronyms, emojis, and memes. These digital tools allow us to convey meaning quickly and efficiently, bypassing traditional grammar at times. In the future, technological advancements will likely create even more ways to communicate, making language even more dynamic and adaptable. However, this rapid change also carries the risk of language loss. As dominant languages spread globally, smaller, regional languages may fade into obscurity. This could result in the loss of unique cultural identities and historical knowledge embedded in those languages. Understanding the history of language helps us appreciate its ongoing role in shaping human identity and society,
connects us,
highlighting its importance as both a tool for communication and a reflection of our evolving world. The journey of language is a profound reflection of human ingenuity and adaptability. From the simple gestures of our ancestors to the complex languages we speak today, language has been central to our survival and success. It has allowed us to communicate, connect, and understand each other in ways that are vital for building societies and cultures. Language is not just a means of communication. It is a living, evolving tool that shapes our thoughts, relationships, and history. As we look back at the development of language, we see that it was driven by necessity. Early humans, facing unknown challenges, used simple sounds and gestures to survive. Over time, as human societies grew more complex, so did language. Grammar emerged,
these stories, my child,
allowing for the expression of abstract ideas and deeper connections. The ability to convey complex thoughts, share knowledge, and build communities was made possible by these linguistic advancements.
And the hopes of
Looking
tomorrow.
forward, it's clear that language will continue to evolve, influenced by technology, culture, and the need to connect across the world. Understanding the history of language helps us appreciate its power in shaping our past, guiding our present, and connecting us to our future. As we continue to adapt, language will remain a cornerstone of human identity and progress. If you've found this exploration of language's origins fascinating, consider subscribing to Prehistoric Shadows. Our channel delves into the mysteries of human evolution, offering in-depth analyses and engaging narratives. Join us as we uncover the stories of our ancient past and how they continue to shape us today. Prehistoric Shadows aims to provide thoughtful, well-researched content that explores the complexities of human history. We strive to present information in an accessible and engaging manner, encouraging viewers to think critically about our shared past and its implications for the future.